Alright, today I have a wild and wacky adventure at the local swap meet. I don't know what I did to my finger there. It's kind of infected there a little bit. I don't know what I did. Something got in there, but man, it kills. I bumped it right before I did this camera. So I don't have everything to show, but I want to show you some of the better things or the more fun things I picked up, including some trading cards here. At the end of the swap meet show around was it 2:30 or 3, there was a free table that popped up and people were throwing all kinds of stuff on there. And you know, when you drive a distance and it's a nice sunny day and you forget your sunglasses, it's always nice to get free sunglasses regardless of what color. They're from the Washington College, University of Washington AA member, whatever that is. Something association or whatever, athletics association maybe. Then I got the McDonald Miller facility solutions glasses there. So free is a very good price for those. No sense in paying, you know, $2 at the Dollar Tree or whatever they are now. Just get a free pair of sunglasses. The smarter person, you know, there's lots of usable things. Everybody was looking for bags, and I found a Walmart bag with some shoelaces in it, and dumped the shoelaces and get the bag. So that's great. Found this for 50 cents. The guy made me a deal at $5 for the whole pile. I got one, two. Unfortunately, the stuff that I really wanted was selling right in front of my eyes, of course. This, unfortunately, has got a crease in it, which I didn't see, but there's an old vintage, all three, for Walt Disney World, all three parks passport 5-day guest from 1991. Those have some sort of small value there. I don't know what it's valued at, you know, currently, but that couldn't have been much. This was in a deal for $5, so I got that. Found a vintage Chicago Transit Authority patch that might be about a $5 patch there. Anything transportation, I think that's really cool. Some of these older ones don't show up on eBay. There was a lot of 2, I think, that sold for 10, so probably about a $5 patch. And then I grabbed this one because it's got the letter H on it. It's got a bulldog and an H, so that's that one there. And then what made it $5 is this Goldwater and 64 tie tack. Not super valuable, but these flasher pins are really cool. So the guy knows his stuff, but what's crazy is that there's another guy. This guy has like hundreds and hundreds of buttons and pins and all kinds of really interesting name tags, employee badges, things like this, postcards. He's kind of well, anyway, I won't go into kind of a little off kilter, but the thing is that it just kind of rubs people the wrong way, I guess, that way. But there's somebody else that has this all nicely presented, cleaned and polished and everything, has only a fraction of it, and he asks like things like, can I look at that belt buckle? And he said, sure, that'll be $80. Like, $80? I thought it said $8. And you're wondering why it's $80. Like, but I mean, I guess he must, these people are set up month in, month out, so whatever. Now, some more of the free stuff here. I picked up this Captain Oates, established since 1985. I dropped it on the ground there. This was free. I might have dented it, unfortunately, but you know, I just got it to like kind of display or put stuff in it. It's got this writing on it, and I wanted to say it was from, oh shoot, Thailand? No, I don't know where it's from. The Federal Oats and Mills Sendrian Berhad or something like that. I don't know if it's from the 80s, 90s, or just a few years ago, but whatever. It's kind of unusual. Again, that dent was probably when I dropped it. It just rolled out of my cart or something like that. And it said where it was from, but I just don't remember. That's okay. We won't dwell on that one too much. Then I got some of these for free. This one's kind of scratched. I got a couple of new ones and a couple of used ones. I don't know if I really want to keep these screw downs, but we'll just use them to display a couple cards that don't have a crazy ton of value. You know, it's possible I could throw good old Mark Grudzelanek in there, so that would be kind of fun to do something like that there. Speaking of slabs or graded type of things, I'm looking for a graded comic book just to display. You know, it's just got to have a fun kind of look to it. I'm not in a hurry to get one. I just need to just kind of wait my time. People were saying that they were going for virtually nothing, talking about the prices they were paying from either at their comic shop or they were finding them on eBay, and I'm not finding anything like that. You try to do the under $20 benchmark there, shipping is absolutely through the roof or whatever, and can't be done like it was a few years ago. all ever popular bag of bags. So I'm going to use those to put some pins in it and use that for the next swap meet and just mark the pins 50 cents or $1. There's a lot of stuff that you're just going to come back with at the show. I came back with a crazy amount of stuff. I'll show you the cards. I really wanted to buy 5 times the amount of cards there because there was a lot of good stuff this time. Well, I say good stuff, but you know, they're just commons and semi-stars. Nothing fantastic. The weirdest thing I picked up was free, and it's a gnome, and that's not weird, but 2 gnomes have basically overtaken an alien. So how weird is that? They've tied up an alien, and I think they're made to be like that. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's a tied up alien with gnomes on it. Very, very strange, but that was free. That's kind of a weird thing that you could maybe get $5 or $10 for, maybe at a comic book convention or something like that with that strange alien. So that would be a fun thing to try. And then I got this for $1. DVDs are just basically get rid of them for $1. Nobody was looking for DVDs. You saw almost none of them. If anybody wanted more for them, it's just not so. People are not looking up these rare ones. You're not finding people that are looking to flip DVDs. So I figured the streets of San Francisco, I didn't check the discs, volume 2 for $1. Got it from one of the regular vendors there, and I'm pretty sure it's all good to go here. Really enjoy this show. A few scratches. Looks like somebody tried to polish that one here, so hopefully that's good. And then, okay, there we got these 2 discs here, and they look like they're more or less probably playable. If they were Blu-ray, I would have to throw this away. That's essentially what it is. And I hate these cases because they're always broken. So I had to find another one of these. You know, and it's going to cost me a bit to find one of those. That's just ridiculous. But Michael Douglas in this here, and I love, you know, kind of city street chase scenes. I always thought it'd be fun to film one. You know, just get kind of a vintage 70s or 80s era kind of like jacket and tie. You don't necessarily have to have the pants. And then, like, you know, running away like you're like chasing somebody, or you don't have to see the person necessarily you're chasing, but have like a shaky camera angle and going around. It's just kind of a fun thing there. You wouldn't have to have a car to chase people. Just go up and down the streets of whatever city you're doing, trying to film as much vintage stuff as you can while you're doing that. So we're going to more or less end on a couple of things. I got a really cool one, because I went to the Goodwill bins afterwards on the way home. I gave a couple of things off to a friend of mine, so there's less things to take home. And I found a really cool Foreigner poster from 1982. I can't find any comps on eBay. None on the internet except for in WorthPoint, and if you don't pay WorthPoint, they're asking price. Oh, and one kind of awe type of thing here. I got this Japan made cat with the kid playing with the little kitten there, and that was I want to say that was free dollars. There's a little residue from a sticker there, but that was free on another table. So the crazy stuff, there's just tons of free stuff there, and I kind of restrained myself. I have a few other oh, and yeah, the biggest thing I want to show you before I get to the cards, this is really cool. This was free, and I grabbed it before anybody could even think about what it was doing there. Had to take it. It's a jacket. I don't know what size it is, but it is super cool. It's a kind of I won't say local, but it's the Florence Step Group. So somebody might have been in the Florence area. Florence is somewhere around the Eugene area. Salmon trout enhancement and program. I think that's neat. Salmon trout enhancement program. So that's neat. But the front is even cooler. I want to say this jacket is probably from the 80s or 90s. This one's got Volunteer Oregon Fish and Wildlife with Step. Then you've got a salmon trout enhancement program volunteer with a step pin here. Then you've got I volunteered at Oregon Fish and Wildlife. That's cool. Then you've got a dirty pocket here, so that's not cool. I don't know. And the collar's not too bad. You know, there's some fading and wear on it, but I'm going to run this through the wash, and hopefully that'll be clean enough. Got to take this plastic thing off here, and I will take off the pins. I don't want to rip anything. I'll try to remember where they photographed that. This unfortunately belonged to Cliff. So my name is not Cliff, but I might be able to remove the Cliff off there. I don't know. I didn't realize it said Cliff. But then we've got the 1997 Stack Conference, Florence, Oregon patch here. Then we got the Salmon Trout and Enhancement Program, Step. I might leave Cliff on there because Cliff's kind of a cool name. There's another pin type here. And then a Forest Service volunteer patch. How cool is that? There might be a few other things, but thank you, Cliff, for this free jacket. That's neat. Unfortunately, there's some dirt and fade there, and maybe some snags and crud there. But again, a vintage '90s jacket or so for nothing is basically top of the iceberg. I might have made $40. I don't know. So into the baseball cards, more top loaders from my friend Zachary, and they're all virtually mint. But we've got red, I know I want to say Schoendienst, but I think it's Schandienst. And then we got the manager. There were 4 of those. Again, you can't really get a good, and I tried to get the cards before Zachary got there because he's kind of a little wild with cards and wants to buy everything under the sun. But it's number 482. So there's that one there, and it's from the 62 set. It's really not a super valuable card there, but paying 75 cents, I think I could do that all day long. I just wanted this Jeter Celebration card here. I think we're looking at about $1.50, so 75 cents was probably a fair price for that one there. We've got a Tony Oliva 69 card here, and this is card number, if I can read it here, 427 or something like that. So it's not a high number, but once you start getting into the fours, they start getting a little bit more competitive here. We also have a Cleon Jones in the outfield. I just loved that card. I just wanted it. And let's get this out of here. I didn't look at the Oliva, but again, I had to leave another one of those multiplayer cards. I had to leave that because there was a whammo in it. It was like from 61. And again, there was just tonnage there, tons of vintage there, and that's the only vintage. Sadly, I didn't realize that somebody had written some initials right here, so they wrote Yay or something on there, or Vey or something like that. So, and they tried to erase it. So it doesn't show at all, but man, I'm going to need another Cleon Jones. The other reason why I grabbed it, it's number 512 or something like that. So we're getting there, but yeah, sad, there's like a pencil mark there. And again, there would be no way to see it unless you looked at it. I was just looking for corners and that sort of thing, so it's still, is it worth 75 cents? Probably. I grabbed myself a Lou Piniella. I can't remember how many of those are. This is not valuable. I don't know if I'm going to get him to sign it for $5 or whatever he does. We'll see. I have no Lou Piniella autographs, but for a 71, it's relatively okay for 71. Did not have that one. This was card number 35 or something like that, so it's not a rare or short print or anything. See, up here, like, well, that doesn't look too bad. Up here, it looks bad. Farther back, it's like, don't know. Somewhere probably about there is probably good. Then we've got 2 more cards, actually 3 more cards here. This is Bird Hill Aces. I didn't know about this card. It has no value, I'm sure of it. But it's got 4 pitchers on it, or 4 people. There's a crease in it, unfortunately. Tom Phobos, Jay Harden, whoever Jay Harden is, Dave McNally, and Mike Cuellar. So Mike Cuellar is the best one here, but yeah, nobody I would know who any of those people are. Sorry, my dirty fingernail there, but we'll get that worked on here. This is card number 332 or something like that. Again, it was a 69. I'm kind of thinking about putting that set together because some of the high numbers were not super expensive at one point. And the best 2 cards, geez, Mikey would approve. These are 57 tops. I'm sure I already have Tom Paholski and Herm Waymeyer, but these will probably be upgrades. They were 75 cents for 75 or 57 tops here. And again, I'm happy to have those regardless. I'm going to pull them out and look at them very, very quickly, and we will be done here. But yeah, I just, my cuticle thingamabobber. Oh, they looked okay, but yeah, no. That's a downgrade if I already have it. So yeah, 2 creases in that. So that's probably worth about 75 cents. There's a crease right there. Again, these things hide all the naughty, all the bad. But yeah, you see that? No. So that's a downgrade, unfortunately, and I'm not particular about 57s. This one here is much better, but yeah, much better. So that I may not have had that one, but I think the Wayme I already have. These cards, it doesn't matter. Somebody said it makes sense, but there's certain common cards you know, in the lower set. I mean, you know, the lower series is the first and second series that you always come across versus other ones. So there's certain players that are always commons. There are commons that are above common price that you just don't see, or collectible commons. And so yeah, I guess so. That's frustrating about this one here. So I'll probably dump that for the price I paid for it and hope somebody buys it, or I might throw it in my 50-cent box. I don't know. We'll see what we want to do with it. Those guys have long since passed away, I'm sure of it. But that was a fun trip. That's only a fraction of what I did and what I got. I was trying to buy useful things, practical things, things that I think somebody else might want. And like I said, I had a fun time for a little bit of money. They charged an extra 50 cents for the sodas this time. So a can of soda is $1.50. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I mean, I know I can get sodas for 50 cents outside of the venue, but, you know, I don't have that particular opportunity. You know, you're not supposed to basically, if I basically had a whole cooler full of sodas for for $1, and I know I would do really well with those, but I can't be doing that and ruin those other customers. That's their business, and that would not be right to do that. So I know there's a couple other people who have since tried that, but that only happens once or twice and people get mad. So that's about it. The other venue charges $2 for a can of soda. Yikes. I don't know, but then I can get a whole 2-liter at the store down here for $2. So what are you gonna do? Somebody has to buy it and then, you know, get more money out of it. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching.